Hello everybody, welcome to a short revision of the verb tenses that we shortly talked about. As you might remember, we started with present simple and present continuous. Then we moved on to the present perfect simple tense and present perfect continuous, right? After having learned something about the present tenses, we moved on to the past tenses, starting with past simple and then moving on to past continuous. Now, to begin with, I'd like to explain the difference between continuous and simple. Continuous means that somewhere in your verb you've got the ing form, plus you've got the idea of movement, change, progress. Simple means there is no ing form, plus this particular verb tense has nothing to do with movement, change or progress. Now, this is how the present simple is built. Subject plus infinitive. I walk, I drink, I go. The same goes for the third person singular with a slight difference, because you need to put an s by the end of your infinitive. This is the negative form. You put a not in between of do and the infinitive. I do not walk. The same goes for the third person singular. You say he does not walk, for example. Now, how could you ask questions? You might either start with your verb by saying do I walk, do I go, do I wait? Or you might start with a question word by saying why do I go, why do I wait? And the same goes for the third person singular. So very simple, very easy, right? Now let's move on to present continuous. You need a subject, I, you, plus the verb be, I am, you are, he is, plus full verb, an infinitive, plus an ing ending. I am drinking, you are drinking, he is drinking. If you'd like to build a negative sentence, you basically put a not in between of your auxiliary verb and your full verb. And if you'd like to ask questions, you might start with your verb. Am I drinking? Are you drinking? Are you going? Or with a question word like why is he going? Why is he leaving? Why are you drinking? What are you drinking? So very simple, very easy. The same concept is true for the present perfect simple. You've got the subject, you've got an auxiliary verb have, plus an ed ending for your infinitive. This is only true for regular verbs. So that means there are a couple of irregular verbs you need to learn by heart, like I have done, I have eaten, alright? And if you'd like to build a negative sentence, you put a not in between your auxiliary verb, have or has, plus your full verb, finished. I have not finished. The same goes for questions. You either start with a verb or with a question word. Have I finished? Why have I finished? For example, if you're talking to yourself, right? So let's move on to the present perfect continuous. You take the continuous form, that means the ing form, and you put it by the end of your full verb. I have been watching. I have been eating. He has been sleeping. The same goes for the third person singular. And the past simple is very simple. You start with the subject, you put an infinitive and add an ed for regular verbs, and the irregular verbs need to be learned by heart. And the same goes for questions. You start with your verb or with a question word. And this is the past continuous. So this was a quick and dirty revision of the verb tenses, but the focus of this video is when do I use those tenses? Now we're going to have a look at the continuous one first of all. Continuous means that you use this particular tense, no matter if it's past continuous, if it's present continuous, if it's present perfect continuous, for something that is moving, changing, developing. And the focus is on the action itself. I have been waiting for you, right? And the duration of the action is important. I have been waiting for you for 2 hours. When it comes to simple, not the action itself matters, but rather the result, for example, right? And you use the simple form, especially the past simple, for finished actions. You say, I did my homework yesterday evening, for example. Or if you'd like to talk about results. Or if you'd like to answer the question how much or how many. That means, again, results do matter, right? Or if you are interested in the question when. Or when you're talking about lists, right? If the list refers to the present time, you use the present simple. If it refers to the past time, you use the past simple. That means simple is rather for facts, for things that are not moving and changing. And continuous is rather for something that is changing and moving. So that's it. This is my short video. If you'd like to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. This is my first video. I hope you have learned something valuable. So bye bye everybody.